Hey, it's Rob Vanovermeire here. Happy New Year to everybody. It's 2022. This video is getting off a little late, and I'm sorry about that, but I've been on vacation. There's a lot to talk about in this video, so it's going to be a little longer than normal, and I hope that's okay, but there's a lot of information because there is a tremendous amount of stuff that's going on, and so I'm going to walk you through what's happening because it is unprecedented what's going on. You need to see this. It's going to be impressive. All right, let's just start by taking a look at what happened in 2021. And you can see at the top here, total sales 2020 were 16,149, and that was because we had a bounce back after the shutdown of 2020, and we ended up finishing around the same volume as 2019. This was a what I would call to be an average year in Calgary. Look at 2021. The MLS sales jumped to 27,685. That is a 71.43% increase. I mean, that's really unprecedented. It's hard to wrap my head around just the sheer amount of volume that took place. And you can see already in 2022, we've had 259 sales already at the start of January, which is dramatically higher than 2021 and also record setting for any other year in Calgary. Now here's what else that's interesting. In new listing inventory in 2021, we saw 37,669, and you can see that was an increase in listings. So a lot of people did put their house on the market, which was good. The median price went from 410 to 444. It's really that simple. When you have that much demand for real estate, prices are going to go up. So the median price went up 8.41% on average. Now keep in mind that does include condos. If I were to look just at detached homes, which we'll in a minute, the pricing is significantly higher than that. The average price went from 457 to 492, and that was a change of 7.62%. And the benchmark price, which takes into account typical homes that have sold in Calgary, went from 415 to 421. And again, that includes condos, which is why that number doesn't look as significant. So anyway, you can see already in the total sales for this coming year so far in 2022, they put January 07, 06, and 05 because these were years where they were record-setting years. And look at us already. 2021 was a record-setting January for the first week, and now of course 2022 is a record-setting January. So if you want to know, where the average price is, depending on the location of the city, we do have Calgary, divided into 8 quadrants now, not 4, which is what most people think. And you can see that the Northwest has been significant at 11.6% increase in pricing at 521,400, and the West Side at 12.4%. So quite a high demand to be on those areas of the city, but the North isn't that far behind. Even to my surprise, the Northeast had a significant increase of 9.2%, and down in the Southeast, some of these lake communities down here, Mahogany has been on fire. There's just a really high demand there, but prices are still more affordable in the South than they are in the North or in the West. City Center only had a 4.2% increase, but keep in mind there's a lot of condos there that kept the prices down, and there are a lot of infills that were already, expensive infills, and they didn't rise as much in price as some of the lower priced real estate did. All right, so this is where it gets really interesting, is when we start looking at detached homes. And I've never seen this in my 21 years of doing real estate, where we had an absorption rate of 112.14% for the whole city of Calgary. December, I just have never seen this. It was such a high demand and such low inventory that, almost everything got bought up. According to this chart, everything got bought up. But, it was it was just a December like no other. And I mean, I was busy right through Christmas time, which you're normally in real estate, you're not. So there is some really high demand going on for real estate, and it's obviously carrying into the new year, and it looks like there's no end in sight. And there's no question, if we keep seeing this kind of a demand, we could see 20-25% increase in pricing this year. Anything is possible. Looming interest rates rising could put a damper on that, but that's about the only thing that I can see that would stop this from happening. It's always hard to predict these markets. The party can stop quickly in Calgary. We've seen this before, so never bank on it, but it is what it's happening right now. The benchmark price, $547,300 for a home, and you can see that's up overall 11.85% from December of 2020. And you can see just by looking at this chart right here, where we were at 516 was the previous peak. We're now at 529, so we've surpassed the previous peak of 2015, and we're continuing now to set pricing records in Calgary. Moving down here, you can see the hard numbers. So 1,007 homes sold out of 898. I'm not sure how that math actually works, but the bottom line is just about everything sold. It was quite, like I said, quite a December. I just never seen anything like it before. Still, on average, it took 39 days to sell a property, but I can tell you that we saw multiple offers happening all over the place. There was numerous listings that sold with, for well over the asking price. One property in particular that I listed in Douglas Ridge, we listed it for $569 and sold it in one day with 12 offers at $615,000. Market distribution, you can see the biggest demand is still where it's affordable, $400,000 to $500,000 at 28%. But $500,000 to $600,000 is now 23% of the market. And if you go back just a few years, this $300,000 to $400,000 price range was actually near the top of the demand. But we've pushed the prices so high that it's now moved into the $400,000 to $500,000. And of course, if this continues, you're going to see this $500,000 to $600,000 take the place of $400,000 to $500,000, just because there won't be enough inventory in $400,000 to $500,000. Already, it's very hard to find a property, a detached home in Calgary that's decent under $500,000. That's already a challenge. And if you do find one, it's usually going with multiple offers. All right, so now we're looking at the semi-detached market. Definitely not as hot as the detached homes are, but still pretty darn hot at 62.79% absorption rate. So almost 63% of the semi-detached properties that were listed in December sold at a benchmark price of $432,400. And that is up 9.86% from a year ago. And you can also see here at a benchmark price of $424,443, that definitely surpasses the previous record of $412 set back in 2015. Here's the hard numbers. 135 out of 215 sold. So this is great news. And as I've said many times before, this would be most people's second choice, is to be attached without condo fees. And this has really continued to boost the semi-detached market in the inner city of Calgary, which was stagnant for a long time, and it has reinvigorated that market tremendously in the past 6 to 8 months. Takes a little longer to sell, 50 days on average. Keep in mind, though, that most of these semi-detached homes are in the lower priced range, which I'll show you right here. You can see the highest demand is $300,000 to $400,000. So as you noticed on the previous chart, where the $400,000 to $500,000 detached homes, it sets these people that maybe can't stretch that kind of a budget into looking here. And there's a lot of them around the city, especially in a lot of the newer developments. You can see here the $700,000 to $800,000 price range. at 11.44% of the market. And so this is anywhere, I would say, from 600 to 1 million. Most of these are the semi-detached. And it's good to see there's a healthy market there again. All right, so here's the row housing, otherwise known as townhomes. These are attached properties that are generally condos. So there is condo fees because they look out after the maintenance of the exterior. 65.6% list absorption rate, which, I mean, I have never seen this for this particular market. So there's definitely, all of a sudden, there is a lot of people that want to own a townhome or a row home, and why not? I mean, to me they are the next best thing to having a detached home, because you don't have to do any exterior maintenance at all. The benchmark price is $300,100, so that's attractive if you're looking in that price range. That is up 7.41% year over year. And we are at, if you look at where we were back in 2015, that was at 323. So you can see that we're creeping up to the record. We still haven't got back to that high price that we saw in 2014, 2015. But keep in mind, look at how badly these townhouse condos did from 2016 to 2020. I mean, it was just like falling like a lead balloon. So this is great news. There was a lot of people that bought here at the peak that wanted to get out here in 2018 and they couldn't. And now at least some of these people are seeing that, hey, I could probably get what I paid for it or close to it. And I'm sure you'll see some of these people put them on the market now and maybe move up to a bigger property, because a lot of these people that buy these, it's a starter home. You know, or they went through a divorce and they just want something for a few years until they get back on their feet again. And they're great for that. Or they're also great for an investment property too. They're really easy to rent out. So market distribution here, 288 out of 439. That is, I mean, again, some really healthy numbers. What a difference over a year ago. 52 days on the market on average to sell one of these. And you can see 200,000 to 300,000, that's your biggest market, but boy, did the $300,000 to $400,000 market creep up, and then it just drops off a cliff like it always does every single month, because that's just where the bulk of these townhouse condos tend to sell in that price range. Well, if you own an apartment condo, this is good news for you, even though it's still, you know, not maybe where you'd like it to be. 29.07% listing absorption rate, not even close to the other markets. But it's a step in the right direction, and that's just great news for people with apartment condos. I mean, we're still battling a large inventory in Calgary of apartment condominiums and not enough demand. I mean, they've built a lot of buildings, so that's not going to go away. But it sure is helping to see 29% absorption rate. Pricing year over year up 2.94%. So nothing to write home about, but better than going on a loss. And you can see here we are at our 252 price point. That's still not anywhere near the peak of 215 that we saw, or 214. So there's a ways to go. But, you know, we had a lot of bad years, just like in the townhouse market. So it's going to take some time. If this continues, I mean, we could see these numbers again. Maybe in the next year to 2 years, we could be right back to where we were in 2014, 2015. So, you know, if you're a seller and you want to hang on that long, you know, great. But I know for a lot of people with these apartment condos that do want to sell, they want to move into something bigger. You know, the pricing on the other products are moving up much higher. So if you're in a position to do it, you may want to, you know, get out now and take advantage of the rise in the pricing that you're going to see on the other markets, and or the other products rather. So 307 out of 1,056. So not bad. Like, haven't seen that kind of absorption rate in condos for a very long time. 67 days on the market on average, and you can see the bulk of the product is being sold under $400,000, It drops off a cliff when you go to 300 to 400, and then there just isn't much interest on anything after $400,000. We just don't have a market for this. So let me just wrap up this video by saying this. We're going to see, by the way it looks, in the detached market, we're going to see some high demand, low supply, and we're going to see multiple offers. And if you're buying, you're going to need some guidance on this. And believe me, I have a lot of experience. I've been down this road before. There is a lot of strategy in multiple offer situations for both buyers and sellers. Trust me on this. Reach out to me if you're thinking of buying or selling, and talk to me, and I'll explain to you some of the strategies that work. And because you need one. If you got an inexperienced realtor in a market like this, you will lose. They just don't know what to do. They're like a deer in headlights. Take it from me, being down this road before, especially living through 2005, 2006, which I did, and 2014 and 2015. I understand how this works, and I'll give you some great guidance on this, on how to buy and sell successfully in a market like this. If you're looking at the townhouse market or the condo market, definitely still some great opportunities for buying and selling. There's a little more to choose from, a little more inventory that you don't have to be as rushed as you do on the semi-detached and the detached. But if you are looking at buying in the semi-detached or detached market, you have to be very, very quick. You have to be ready to make a quick decision. And like I said, if you're selling, talk to me about the strategy. There's a lot of things that you can do. So hope this video was very helpful to you, and I wish you all the best in 2022. I hope it's a very prosperous year for you. And I cannot wait to see how things look in February when we look at this market again.